You have an aspect, you have an aspect in your natal chart, but you don't, or you don't have it in your natal chart. You don't have it in your natal chart, and you do in your compass. This means that aspects, how the planets talk to each other, that's what aspects are, the communication changes. That is like, is that not mind-bending? So, let's say you have this really tough square in, Sun-Pluto square in your natal chart. It doesn't mean that that aspect goes away, it doesn't exist. Like your natal chart is always going to be your natal chart. But maybe there is some relief from it as you are learning it, or maybe there is this big aspect that's there that has made everything like really, a call to action. Like you really had to step up where, you look at it and you think, why am I having such an issue with my chart? Like Cindy was with her daydreaming, where she was living, connected those planets together and created this environment, this feedback loop that she got. So I want you to think about that, because that is mind-blowing if some aspect can actually change just based on where you live. Think about that. You can make, you can maybe move to get some relief, or just even knowing why is it so hard here. And is this something I want to continue to grind through because the end game is going to be great? Or is this something that maybe I need to move 50 miles or 100 miles so that that aspect releases and maybe comes back to its natural state? Or brings some release some other way, like turns into a trine or turns into a...
Is it time for comments?
You can, sure.
Well, it just makes me think of in Ptolemy, the Nicholas Fifth Mother told me that, Ptolemy talked about there's 4 influences on a growing creature, which it was like, okay.
So Ptolemy says there's 4 influences on a growing creature. If we look at astrology as like development theory, right? And so there's genetics, culture, climate, and the chart layer. And I feel like this is changing your climate layer by changing where you're living. So it actually does change the astrology layer. So I think that is very Ptolemaic and really interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Would you like to give your name? You do?
I'm Andrea Garretts and I teach astrological remediation.
She does. It's coming up. Yep. It's coming up in...
Do we have other questions?
Nope, we're going to continue on. Anyways, I just wanted to stop Cindy there for a second, because that in itself is mind-blowing, that we actually can find relief or some giddy up and go. Like, let's say you've got this beautiful triple trine in your chart and you're sitting on the couch eating bonbons doing nothing with it, Wouldn't it be nice to have a little bit of giddy up and go? Maybe if you relocate, or if you had a job, or you had some connection that nurtured some giddy up and go, some a little bit of square action, a little bit of movement, where all of a sudden you can dial into that beautiful grand trine and do something beautiful with it. So I just wanted to stop there for a second.
And to piggyback on what you're saying, I now live in Chicago, Illinois, and I no longer have that trine between my Mercury and Neptune, and I don't daydream as much there. It's more like go, 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 go. I gain different aspects by moving there. And why? It's 1 degree south, more south latitude, and of course all those other degrees like longitude. So of course everything's going to change with that.
And you know what? I also did want to mention this. So this is my point in what we're doing here. If you look at the aspects in these, here's the natal chart, and here's a handful of different compasses based on where. This is Michael Fox's chart. This one was in Bangladesh or Tibet, where he did that big. What did he do? He did a documentary that he did on happiness. So look at the aspects there, in his search for happiness. But I wanted to kind of bring that home to you, that it really makes a difference if you can dial into activating. Now the natal chart never goes away. We never, it's not like I'm saying this overrides the natal. It's in tune with the natal. It's giving us this added layer, because we know astrology is incredible layers of information. And this is a really, I think, a very significant part of those layers that we don't always use. So, in the way compass astrology was used in an energetic way, maybe in a way of feng shui, it's harder to use with a client. But this is not hard to use. You can layer this with your natal reading to know what they're experiencing, where they are today. And I think that's really incredible. So that's why I get all excited about it.